me, 23F, senior year at some overpriced private college in the Midwest, major in cultural anthropology, minor in digital media. Studies life is honestly pretty sweet. Write essays about how classic literature reinforces problematic power structures. Professors eat it up. Straight A's. Every semester, parents cover my tuition and my downtown apartment. I justify it by saying, I'm using their corporate money to critique the system. From inside, spend way too much time. Online, completely convinced. I've figured out how the world works. Centerpiece of my worldview. Male privilege, my master key for explaining every social problem. Guys have life on tutorial mode. That's just a fact to me. They get better pay for less effort. They don't constantly worry about safety. People listen when they speak. They cruise through life while women grind through nightmare difficulty. One evening I'm on a family Zoom call. My dad's there, 56, mechanical engineer, still wears those chunky trail shoes everywhere, blasts old jazz rock bands like it's still the 70s, asks what I'm planning after graduation. I proudly tell him I'm writing a series of investigative pieces about everyday male privilege. He gives me this exhausted look. Emily, the world's a little more complicated than that. Says most men he knows are barely holding things together. Rent, work stress, family pressure. It's not some secret boys-only club. MFW. I'm getting lectured by the final boss of straight male patriarchy. I launch into my usual debate routine, wage disparity, statistics, invisible emotional labor, unacknowledged social advantages. The whole script, he just sighs. You've read a lot, kiddo. But you haven't lived it. You don't know being a man any more than I know being you. The smugness, the audacity call ends awkwardly. I snap my laptop shut later that night. My brain lights up huge genius tier idea, forming what if I actually experienced it? What if I went undercover as a man and documented the privilege myself? Instant proof. Ultimate mic. Drop my blog, would blow up overnight book deal. Speaking tours, the whole thing, future feminist icon status. And honestly, it couldn't be that hard. Guys have it easy, right? Start mapping the project immediately. Step 1. Appearance chop. My long auburn hair down into a dull short guy. Haircut dye. It darker so it looks generic. Order. A serious chest binder online feels like getting wrapped in duct tape. But whatever, dig through thrift stores for the male background. Character starter pack, loose jeans, boring hoodies, faded work jacket, scuffed steel toe. Boots practice talking lower. Try walking heavier, shoulders wider. Take up more space when I sit. Friends think it's amazing, they call it radical performance activism. We throw a goodbye party for Emily. Everyone cheers. To my bravery need a guy name, land on Ryan, simple, forgettable, safe. Tell my parents I got accepted into a research program out of state. Complete lie, they're proud, even wire me some extra cash. The irony makes me grin. I relocate to some industrial town, 3 states away. Factories, diners, old brick buildings, 0 art galleries, 0 smoothie bars, rent a depressing little studio above a laundromat mission, live as Ryan for 1 full year, get a normal male job, record every unfair advantage I experience week 1 as Ryan job search begins. I apply for jobs. I always assumed guys walk into easily. Warehouse picker construction, helper delivery, driver resume is basically fake, my new name, random high school. A made-up reference using my roommate's uncle. Expect offers instantly. Because male privilege phone stays silent, days go by nothing. I fill out dozens of online applications. Still, nothing. Start walking into businesses asking for work. Here, we're not hiring, about 20 times. The polite brush-off somehow feels worse than a straight rejection. Finally land a trial shift at a beverage distribution. Warehouse overnight shift. Interview is literally just one question. You able to lift 50 pounds all night? Manager points to a crate. Show me. I barely manage it. He shrugs and tells me to start. Monday job is absolute hell. Not even really a job, more like a punishment workout, designed by demons. Endless stacks of heavy boxes, giant freezing warehouse, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Every night, my body is not built for this. Back screaming, constantly hands shredded with blisters. By day 3, get home when the sun's coming up, smell like sweat and dusty cardboard, collapse into bed. Immediately wake up, mid-afternoon, feeling like a truck ran over me. Eat cheap food, canned soup, or microwave pizza. Watch dumb videos until it's time to go back. Repeat forever. This is life. Now, coworkers are all kinds of guys. Some younger dudes grinding for rent. Money older guys who've been here decades. A couple grizzled veterans with wrecked backs and permanent scowls. I keep quiet and take notes, mentally expecting locker room sexism. Non-stop guys bragging about women, scheming about holding women down. Reality is very different. Most of them are just exhausted. Main conversations revolve around one: how much their feet hurt. 2. Complaining about the useless daytime supervisor. 3. Fantasy football. 4. Weird noises their cars are making. 5. Their kids' sports games or their wife being annoyed. They work nights. One break, guy named Brandon shows pictures of his newborn daughter, looks unbelievably proud and unbelievably tired. Gotta keep stacking diaper money, he mutters, rubbing his face. Another guy, Marcus, maybe mid-40s, sits quietly eating his sandwich, staring at the floor. Someone asks if he's good. He shrugs. Wife's filing for divorce. Says I'm never around. He says it completely. Flat room goes quiet. Nobody really knows what to say. One guy gives his shoulder a heavy pat. That sucks, man. Conversation ends right there. Everyone goes back to scrolling phones or finishing food. No deep emotional talk. Marcus just finishes eating in silence, then heads back to the floor, lifting crates a little faster than before. I jot notes later in my little black notebook, write something like, evidence of toxic masculinity. Add a line about emotional shutdown being required for acceptance. Stare at it. It already sounds like I'm forcing it. The longer I'm out here, the less confident my labels feel. Loneliness starts creeping in hard. Back when I was Emily, my phone never shut up. Group chats popping, FaceTimes at random hours, friends venting, friends asking advice, friends giving advice as, Ryan, my phone is basically a paperweight with a screen, no notifications, no random check-ins, just the weather app, and my alarm for night shift. I try to make friends at work anyway. Ask a couple guys if they want to grab a beer after we get off at 6 a.m. They look at me like I suggested we go skydiving before breakfast. Bro, I'm going home to sleep. That's the end of it. The only bonding is the shared suffering on the floor. Start realizing something I never had to think about before. In this world, guy friendships are built on doing the same thing, work together, play ball together, help move furniture. It's activity-based, not feelings-based. You don't just sit and talk. The lack of emotional closeness hits me like hunger, like I'm starving and I can't explain what I'm missing. I break and call my friends back home as Emily voice, a little shaky, trying to sound casual, tell them what I'm actually seeing. The work is brutal. It's isolating in a way. I didn't expect they immediately slotted into their usual script. OMG, that's the toxic culture patriarchy creates. The men are harmed by the system they built. This is incredible material. They're not listening to me. They're listening for proof of what they already believe. I feel this sharp flash of anger. It's not material, it's my body and my brain and my life. Right now I'm exhausted, my back hurts constantly, and I feel like a ghost. I hang up and somehow I feel even more alone than before, decide the project needs more than warehouse misery. Work isn't the whole male experience, so I figure I'll test the dating world. From this side, download Tinder. Again, make a profile for Ryan, 24 works in shipping and logistics. Put my height at 5'9". Absolute charity measurement use. A few photos where I don't look like I'm dying. Inside bio is painfully basic. Just a guy who likes hikes, movies, and hunting down good pizza, looking for something real. As Emily, dating apps were a casino where every pull hit likes pouring in messages non-stop. I could be picky, I could ignore people like a ghost, and not even feel bad. As Ryan, it's a graveyard. Days pass, a couple of likes drift in like dust. First week, I get maybe 3 matches total, and suddenly I'm the one doing all the work. Match with a girl named Kelsey. She's cute, normal looking, not an influencer. I message first. Hey, your dog's adorable. What's his name? She replies, like 6 hours later. LOL, thanks. Milo. And that's it. Conversation just lies there, dead. And somehow, it's my job to resuscitate it. I ask about her hobbies, get one-word answers. I try to be funny. It feels like trying to start a fire with wet cardboard. After days of me typing full sentences and her sending emojis, she unmatches me, no warning, just gone, and then it happens again and again. The amount of effort it takes to get the tiniest flicker of interest is insane. The steady drip of silent rejection is like sandpaper on the soul. I used to laugh at dudes who wrote, "must be able to hold a conversation" in their bios. Yeah, I get it. Now after about a month of this, I finally land an actual date off Hinge. This time the chat was barely more lively than a corpse, but she kept responding. We agree to meet for coffee. I'm weirdly nervous. What do guys even talk about when they can't just exist and be responded to? I buy a new button-up at a discount store, stand in the mirror, practicing not looking desperate, rehearse safe topics like a job interview, get to the coffee place early, sit there pretending I'm not watching the door. Every 10 seconds, she shows up like 15 minutes late, eyes glued to her phone. No apology, no sorry, nothing. The whole date feels like an audition. I ask her about her job, her family, what she likes to do. She gives short answers, then just stares at me like I'm a screen that's supposed to keep playing content. She barely asks me anything back. Check comes, she doesn't even glance at it, just keeps scrolling. I pay automatically because what else am I going to do? Argue over $8. She says, "Thanks for the coffee," and walks out an hour later. I get the text. "Hey, I didn't really feel a spark." Good luck though. I sit in my tiny apartment that night. No roommates, no noise, just the hum of the laundromat downstairs. Open my notebook, start to write something like male financial privilege and dating rituals. Stare at the words, they feel fake in my hands like I'm lying to myself on paper. I close the notebook, don't open it again, for a full week, months, slide by like that work, sleep, repeat, and the job keeps taking more out of me. My lower back becomes this constant ache that never fully turns off, like a warning light that stays on. No matter what, then one night it happens. There's a pallet of soda stacked wrong, leaning like a bad decision. I'm pulling it with the pallet. Jack, it shifts tips. I try to hop back, but I'm too slow. A case smashes straight into my ankle, white-hot pain. I drop immediately, swearing loud enough to echo supervisor jogs over, "You good, Ryan?" I'm sweating, teeth clenched. I think I messed it up. Might have broken it. I don't know. He looks down at it like he's checking a dented bumper. "Can you stand?" I try pain spikes so hard my vision fuzzes. He nods like, "All right then, HR'll call you tomorrow. Go to urgent care." Here's the workers' comp paperwork. Another guy helps me up. They half walk, half drag me to my car. "Take it easy, man." And that's basically the entire support system. I drive myself to urgent care using my left foot, right ankle, swelling up like a baseball, sit alone in the waiting room for 3 hours. Fluorescent lights, daytime TV, people coughing, get x-rays, brace crutches. Turns out it's a severe sprain, not a break. I limp back to my place, climb the stairs one step at a time. Every movement feels like a nail collapse into bed, fully dressed and nothing happens. No one checks on me, no friend texts, "How'd it go?" No. Coworker reaches out next day. HR calls, not to ask if I'm okay. Just paperwork forms, claim numbers. When I can return, then the call ends and it's quiet again. I can't stop thinking about the difference if I'd been Emily and sprained my ankle. Like this, my friends would have shown up, fast. Someone would bring soup, someone else would bring ice cream. They'd sit on my couch and put on movies and make sure I ate. As Ryan, I'm completely on my own. No safety net, no built-in caretaking. And it hits me. Staring at the ceiling with my ankle throbbing, this expectation that men handle it alone isn't some luxury perk. It's just the rule. It's a burden, an unwritten rule that your pain is your own damn problem. Deal with it quietly, and don't make it anyone else's issue. I spend 2 full days in bed after the injury, hobbling to the bathroom, on crutches microwaving instant noodles, like it's gourmet ankle throbbing non-stop. But that's not what breaks me. I start crying because of the silence, because there's nobody, no texts, no "you okay?" No friend showing up with snacks and a dumb movie, just me in a crappy apartment listening to machines spin downstairs. That's when the whole project finally dies. Not some dramatic revelation, just a pathetic little whimper in a sad room with a swollen ankle. I can't do it anymore. I email the warehouse from my bed. Short message say, I'm done. Say I won't be coming back. Hit send and feel weirdly numb. Pack my bags. Move like an old man, because my leg won't cooperate. Take the binder off and toss it straight into the trash. It feels like peeling off armor I didn't realize was crushing my ribs. Get in my car, drive back toward my real life, my actual town, my actual place. Pull up to the apartment my parents pay for the one I used to laugh about like it was some revolutionary joke. Stand in front of the mirror, hair chopped and uneven face, pale dark circles under my eyes like bruises lost weight. Look like I got haunted on purpose. I take the longest, hottest shower of my life. Let the water pound my shoulders. Scrub the warehouse smell off my skin. Put on my old clothes, the ones that used to feel like me. But it's strange. I don't feel like Emily. I don't feel like Ryan. I just feel empty, like I left part of myself in that warehouse under a pallet of soda. My friends are thrilled I'm back. They treat it like I'm returning from war with priceless intel. Tell us everything. We need details. Give us the full patriarchy report. We meet at our favorite brunch place, the one with overpriced coffee and plates, the size of frisbees. They're all talking over each other, laughing, complaining, sharing memes, that easy closeness, that effortless warmth. I almost forgot what it feels like to be automatically included. Then they all turn to me, like it's my turn at show and tell. Okay, so what was the biggest male privilege you found? I hesitate. My throat tightens and the words just fall out before I can soften them. Honestly, the biggest privilege is being a woman. The table goes, dead silent, forks, pause, midair. Faces freeze, confusion first, then something sharper. Like I just spat on the pancakes. My friend Olivia, the most hardcore one in the group, snorts. What are you even saying? Did you get Stockholm Syndrome or something? I try to explain, and it comes out messy. No, I mean this. I gesture at all of us. The talking, the checking, in the way support is just assumed. Guys don't have this. They're just alone. They're expected to be fine all the time. And if they're not, they hide it. Nobody cares if a man's sad. They just care if he can still show up and work. I start talking too fast. Bring up the quiet break room, that guy with the divorce. How nobody knew what to say. So they said nothing. Bring up the apps, the constant rejection. How exhausting it is to chase a conversation that doesn't want to exist. Bring up the injury sitting 3 hours in urgent care by myself, dragging myself up the stairs alone, no one calling except HR. My voice shakes. I hate that it shakes. Olivia rolls her eyes like she's grading me. Okay, so toxic masculinity hurts men too. We know that. That's like day one feminism. It doesn't cancel out male privilege. They built that system. They can cry and still get paid more. I feel heat climb up my neck. But do they? The guys I worked with weren't getting rich. They were wrecking their bodies for barely above minimum wage. She doesn't even blink. Those are anecdotes. We're talking about systemic structures. I look around the table and I realize they aren't going to hear me. They can't. Everything has to fit into neat categories. Villain group, victim group, oppressor. Oppressed, like it's a class lecture. But what I saw wasn't a comic book. I saw exhausted men, lonely men, men who seemed invisible until they stopped functioning. And the worst part is, I saw myself in them, not as some powerful warrior, as a replaceable person, as someone who could vanish and nobody would really notice after that brunch. Things don't go back. There's a new space between me and them, like an invisible pane of glass. I can't listen the same when they go on rants about all men, because my brain shows me faces. Brandon rubbing his eyes, showing baby photos. Marcus staring at his sandwich like it was the only thing holding him together. The guys at work silently limping through life. My friends start calling, less the group. Chat keeps moving, but I'm not really in it anymore. They act like I've been contaminated, like I got too close to the enemy, and came back sympathetic in their clean black and white world. My new viewpoint is a gross, inconvenient gray. So they cut it out. I sit down to write the blog post anyway, type a title. I lived as a man for 6 months. Here's what I learned. Stare at the blank screen for hours, cursor blinking like it's mocking me. Because how do I write it? Old me would have forced it into the narrative. Loneliness becomes patriarchy backfiring. Brutal labor becomes temporary discomfort for enlightenment. Everything gets neatly labeled and weaponized, but I can't do it anymore. It feels like lying. The truth is ugly and complicated. The truth is I went hunting for male privilege, and what I found was male disposability. Like men are valued for output and nothing else. Like you're only real if you're useful, and if you're not useful, you're background noise. I learned men and women are lonely in different ways. Women get taught to fear men. Men get taught nobody gives a damn whether they live or die. There's no triumphant ending, no victory lap, no book deal, blog. Just sits there, abandoned friends drift away, and I'm back in my comfortable apartment, paid for by my dad. The same dad I used to sneer at, like he was a cartoon villain, and I'm flooded with shame. Shame for how smug I was, how certain, how eager to judge everyone from a cushioned life I didn't earn. I had safety nets everywhere, money support, people who checked on me, and I didn't even recognize it as privilege until it was gone. BME now, 24, graduated with a degree that looks fancy and does nothing, spend a lot of time alone. Sometimes I go to a coffee shop and just sit there, watch people like I'm studying a different species. See guys my age laughing with their girlfriends. See older men by themselves reading newspapers nobody else reads. See construction crews on lunch break, faces dusty, hands cracked, wolfing down sandwiches like they're racing the clock. I don't see the patriarchy in their faces anymore. I just see people, and I feel this quiet, heavy sadness that doesn't really go away. My dad was right. The world is more complicated than a slogan, and I'm just another person inside it, trying to survive. I wanted to learn what it's like to be a man. Turns out it's a lot like being a woman, just lonelier way lonelier.